Hey guys, I know it's been a minute since my last video. It's been a while. I think getting close to a year now. So I thought I'd do a quick video, just letting you guys know what's going on with 2 years now, just past the 2 year mark since my gastric sleeve surgery back on January the 11th, 2021. So first off, what's been going on in my life? A lot's changed. Mostly, I had to move from Miami to the New Orleans, Louisiana area. So that took place back in June of last year, and from there it's been nonstop, busy, 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 busy. Some good and some bad. We'll get into that. But overall, since I'm at the 2 year mark, I'm fully in the maintenance phase. My current weight is, it varies. It's between generally 250 to 260, which is still not what I want it to be. I want to be lower. I want to be in the more healthier range for my height and my age. But I have some steps that I can take to help continue lowering, obviously at a slower pace. But yeah, so let's talk about it. So there was some struggles. Again, moving in itself, such a long distance, such a full uproot and then move to another state was a challenge. I moved into an apartment, and that was a mistake because here in Southeast Louisiana, the summers are rough, and I moved in June. So I spent all summer without air conditioning. The apartment complex did nothing to fix it. They gave me a small window unit, which really increased the power bill while doing very, very little, to cool the air temperature in my place. And it was just insufferable. The 3 months of summer from June through September were just atrocious. But it's a good thing in the sense of it finally pushed me to do something that I've wanted to do for a long time, and that was to buy my own house. So I've also bought a new house, and that's going great. Kind of wish that I had done it sooner, but up to this point, every couple of years moving around, it was just not practical. But here I'm happy. I'm closer to family in Tennessee than I was in Miami. This is the area that I want to be in. I'm close to friends where I went to school in Mobile, Alabama. There's a lot of stuff to do here. The culture is amazing. Unfortunately, the food is amazing too. But the same can be said in Miami as well. I mean, the food there was on point. So it's all about, mind control, self-control, and, going back to that initial training that you received when you got the sleeve surgery. So just, revert back to that, stick to the basics, you'll be fine. So after that, literally the same week that I closed on my house in September, my parents were in a very serious car crash back home. And so thankfully, my mother was okay. She had a broken rib, I think. Unfortunately, my stepdad suffered some pretty serious injuries. He broke a lot of bones, including some bones in his neck and back. And then he was hospitalized for several months, and unfortunately ended up passing away from complications from the car crash in late October. And then, unfortunately, just a few days later, my 2-year-old niece also passed away, not from a car crash, but from other reasons. So, as you can imagine, the family being closer was good, but it was a tough time. It was a tough time for me, tough time for my family. So, I had other things to focus on other than myself, and so there was some weight fluctuation during that time, and of course the holidays were a challenge. I was able to go home for the first time in I think a decade for Thanksgiving, just to be with my mom and support her, because obviously she was hurting. lost her husband and granddaughter within a week of one another. That's tough to get over, especially so close to the holidays. So I tried to be there for them and help them through the rough patch. And it's been tough. It really has been. More focus, not so much on my grief personally, but on my mother, because that's a 1-2 punch of grief that she had to deal with. But she's doing well. She's maintaining, and I'm always sending good vibes her way. So yeah, I mean there are tons of excuses, but I mean it really, in reality, I could have focused more on what I was consuming, when I was consuming, and be more, like I said, revert back to the training that I got. But I'm sorry, no training in terms of dietary needs is going to be the main priority when so many things bad are going on and so much grief. So, but moving beyond that, I actually did witness a miracle. I just got back home from a 10-day Western Caribbean cruise. So I had a vacation here, tried to get away from some of the stress at work and that sort of thing, which work is very productive here, even more so than in Miami. So that's good. It's keeping me busy, keeping my mind occupied, but it's also, good to have some downtime, which before then I didn't have any downtime since last summer when I went to Europe. So it was good to get away. Visited South America for the first time, visited Central America, Panama, Costa Rica, Grand Cayman, Cartagena, Colombia. It was a great trip. Went hiking through the rainforest in Costa Rica. Highly recommend it. 10 out of 10. It was amazing. It was an amazing trip. Yeah, so the miracle I witnessed was this 10-day cruise, which, you're surrounded by food and opportunity. I actually lost 2 pounds. And I guess part of that is hiking through the rainforest, opting to take the stairs versus the elevator and so forth. But, I also was very mindful of what I was consuming and when I was consuming it and that sort of thing. And I think that helps. That really did help. But right before the cruise, I tried to mitigate and dropped about 5 pounds before the cruise. So you can imagine how surprised I was when I got home, jumped on the scale, and I was actually 7 pounds lighter from around mid-month or so. So, that's good. That's good. Let's keep this going. Again, I'm technically in the maintenance phase, but I feel like I can do a little bit better. I can do a little bit more work and continue losing weight using the tool that I have, which is knowledge and also the sleeve. And so a lot of folks ask, about sleeve stretching and overeating. One thing that I've not done was revert back to drinking soda, and I think that helps. There are times where I'll overindulge before I realize it, and then I feel extremely full, not like sick or anything, but full afterwards. And that's a reminder that going forward, a little bit less. Slow down, take your time, and then once you feel satisfied, stop, which is really hard to do when the food is so tasty. I know. It's just, you have to put that in your mind, otherwise you're gonna feel bloated, you're gonna feel just bleh. And you don't wanna feel bleh. You wanna feel satisfied, you wanna feel happy, and also you don't wanna feel guilty. And that's one thing that I can say that I feel if I do overindulge. And also, I mean, I guess the research is still going on in terms of the sleeve stretching. I mean, over time, you're going to be able to consume a little more. And I've seen that just in the last 2 years where, a month or two after the surgery, I could probably eat maybe 3 ounces and then I was done. Now it's up to maybe 5, 6, 7 ounces and then I'm done. So just in that amount of time, it's, gotten used to it in terms of the stretching part. You're able to take in a little more food. And the most important part of that is not necessarily how much, but what you're putting in your body. So again, I'm trying to stay more on the low carb side, which is highly suggestive. And also, the protein, also taking vitamins, still doing that on a daily basis. You don't want to become deficient or you will feel bleh. So you want to make sure that those are all in line and all in check. So again, I'm just reiterating what I've already said in past videos with the vitamins and what you're eating and how much and that sort of thing. So obviously I've still got work to do, and that's okay. That's okay. I've still got my tools. Again, the knowledge and the physical sleeve, it's still doing its job. I just have to do my job. And so, yes, again, I'm in the maintenance phase, but I'm still not happy. So what I have to do is I've got to make it happen. I've got to make it work. And once you reach that phase, once you've hit, losing most of the weight, most of your excess weight, which I believe is about 60%, you can always take it further depending on you, right? You've gotten that far. For me, I feel motivated in terms of wanting to push forward. I'm obviously still not happy where I am. I would like to lose 35 to 50 more pounds. And it's doable. It's doable. It's just, the question is, how bad do I want it? How bad do I want to lose that 35 to 50 pounds? We'll see. We'll see. I'm optimistic. I'm trying to stay optimistic despite everything in terms of crazy family stuff. I'm trying to maintain, my senses and trying to do what I need to do in terms of getting my mental health where it needs to be as well. Remember, that is a big part of it. Being in that, that right state of mind is most important. And that's where I need to get myself, more so than the whole dietary thing, which, since I moved into my own house, I've noticed that I'm starting to cook a lot more at home. And when I'm doing that, I'm noticing I'm making a lot of positive changes as well. Like before, I would never cook fish, and now I'm cooking salmon, which, as you know, is very high in protein and very high in omega-3s and all the good stuff for you. But I also limit it to 2 a week because of the whole mercury thing. So you've got to keep all that in the back of your mind. Don't be afraid to cook for yourself. Prepackaged salads are good, but let's be honest, they get old. They, after 5 or 6 days of prepackaged salads, just like your palate wants a change. You get what is it, taste fatigue or whatever, flavor fatigue. You want something different. You want variety. Just make sure that you're making the right choices with that variety. All right, that's it. That's all I have. I hope you guys are doing great. Again, I'm so sorry it's taken so long to get this video out. I know that a lot of folks, we're probably wondering, where's Rob? What is he doing? What's new? Well, a lot is new. A lot has changed. And so I look at it as, a door opening to the future, a very positive step forward for me. So hopefully, same for you. Stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll catch you on the next video. Bye, guys.